We got a new video from Think Before You Sleep. False accusers and their enablers.
I went to evil Las Vegas alone.
Dude, this is about more Sykkuno drama, and I'm here for it, bro. Any way to clickbait this guy, we'll do it again, I swear to God.
But I wasn't alone. I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno, but I didn't know that he had other intentions.
All right, stop. First couple of seconds, and already she's lying to accuse this guy of being a predator.
Of course.
You mean to tell me that you, as an adult, who, by the way, later said she had 3 past relationships, which means she's not new to this stuff.
Facts.
So as an adult, you mean to tell me that you didn't know that this guy wanted to be alone in a room with you because he wanted to have sex? Bullshit.
Hey, here's the reality. You want to know why so many false accusers happen? Because the world enables them. There is no reason to not be a false accuser as a woman because it strictly benefits you. And when you get caught falsely accusing someone, you go, oh, sorry, and then your life goes on. But millions of simps will support these women without looking into anything for themselves while poisoning themselves as that good of a guy, because not only are false accusers promoted and rewarded, people mindlessly defending and reinforcing those false accusers are seen as the goodest of the good, when in reality, they're just piece of shit simps. And everybody knows it.
I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating. And it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen.
The other thing is that everybody infantilizes women, where they say they're not responsible for their own fucking actions because, oh, they're women. They're stupid. They didn't know that a guy who I've been flirting with, who I'm in a hotel room with, alone, it might get sexual. Oh my God. I can't believe he made a move on me. What the fuck?
So instead, I just gave him oral. And then when he fell asleep, I got...
Don't downplay it and call it oral, okay? Say you gave him the old Suckmaster 5000. The sloppy toppy. Stop trying to downplay it. You say you sucked that motherfucker's dick raw, and when he came, he said, what is up, guys? It's Sykkuno here. And then he blew his nut. All right? Stop trying to act like you were more innocent than you are. You went down on a man with those lips, and you made his ass bust. Your words, not mine. Let's stop downplaying it here, buddy boy.
Out of bed, and I just ate a banana, and I was just staring out the window. I was dissociating. I think I was straight up just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened?
Okay, so you voluntarily had oral sex with a guy that you shared a hotel room with. What's wrong with that? No indications of coercion and no indications that he physically forced you into doing it, so why are you speaking like you're the victim of a sexual assault? Anyway,
you can't consent to it before and during, and then 2 years later say, well, you know what? Maybe I didn't consent. Maybe this guy's a rapist. You just can't fucking do that. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you can, because people do it all the time. Look at what happened to Rich Campbell. His life got ruined for 3 years over the same shit.
Those of you who are unaware, recently there's been some allegations against a very popular Twitch streamer who goes by Sykkuno or Thomas. A number of girls have come out and accused Sykkuno of being a predator who takes advantage of younger women who are small streamers.
You know, God bless Asmongold for being an incel, because if that guy ever had sex in his entire life, I guarantee you these clout-chasing bitches would be doing the exact same thing to him right now.
This one being Leia, who I guess was a former mod of his, and she's very obviously trying to frame this consensual encounter as a sexual assault. But before we talk about that, recently a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits.
Guys, I'm going to go check out Morgan & Morgan right now. You know what? And you know what? Use Think Before You Sleep's code over mine. He deserves it.
You or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles. You should hear
Morgan & Morgan is f***ing goated.
This. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for a case. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. All right, so back to Leia's allegations against Sykkuno. I feel like this is the 10th set of false allegations that I've heard about in the past year. I don't know how.
It's actually, I believe I've counted, I think we're actually in the 20s. I believe we're in the mid-20s for how many false allegations have gone out on content creators just in the past year. We're somewhere between 22 and 26. There's a fucking lot.
Often this happens with regular people, but with social media influencers or famous people in general,
Yes.
false accusations are rampant because accusers have an extreme incentive to make them.
Yep.
They get clout, they get money, or some of them are just crazy and they get revenge against the next for breaking up with them. And there's really no downsides for the accuser, even if their allegations are very obviously false.
Yep.
No one goes to jail, no one loses their career over it, they don't even get a fine for it. So there's a high reward to virtually no risk, and worse, it hurts actual victims who are actually abused.
Hey guys, what happened to Rich Gamble's accusers? They're all chilling, still doing OnlyFans. What happened to Turkey Tom's accuser? They're still chilling, living their life. All they had to do was say, I'm sorry. So let me get this right. So if you accuse someone and you're wrong, all you have to do is say, I'm sorry. If you accuse someone, you're wrong, but you get away with it. Hey, look at that. Free clout, and the guy's life, who you clearly still love, is now forever. Woo! What a great society we live in.
being said, let's go back to Leia's vast misrepresentations of her encounter with Sykkuno.
And I didn't ask him to share a room with me. I just simply asked him, hey, are you going to Evil Las Vegas? He said yes. And I said, oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like, I know he lives in Las Vegas. And he said, oh, you're planning on coming. I actually have room if you just want to room with me. And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, are you sure? Like, no, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel. He said, no, like, I have extra room. I already paid for it. And I even asked him, I'm like, are you rooming with a group or with friends? And he said, no, but there's 2 beds. So like, you'll get your own bed.
She starts by saying, but I didn't ask him for a room.
Yep.
I'm guessing she's trying to make it seem like he forced it on her, but it's very obvious that she was asking for a room.
Yep.
When she said, gosh, gee, I want to go to Evo so badly, but the rooms are so expensive. Do you have any recommendations? He's like, yeah, my room. Leia, you can't Google or use Expedia to find the cheapest hotel?
Oh, man, I really want to go to this place, but, there's just nowhere to stay. What do I do? You can stay with me if you want. Oh my God, are you raping me right now? Like, bro, these women are a joke, bro. This shit is insane. And the fact that the most obvious liars get away with it every day is pathetic.
You're a really terrible liar. Basically, this is her asking for a room without being direct because that's just how women operate.
Yes, they do.
But don't worry because there's 2.
Just like every other woman who said, oh man, I really want to play this game, but I can't afford it. Sykkuno, what do you think I should do? I'll buy it for you. Are you using money to manipulate me? And by the way, that story that I just told you happened 7 times to Sykkuno. 7! Yes, I farmed that content quite a bit. I know this case very well.
Beds in the room. Let me put it this way, guys. If you were in a relationship, would you let your girlfriend go to a video game tournament by herself and share a room with a super famous multi-millionaire streamer who she mods for? If there were 2 beds? Would women trust their boyfriend in a situation like this?
But me, being a dumbass and not being very
I could tell a story about this, but I won't.
very strong.
But yeah, let me say this. If you think there are streamers who are single, who are flying out their mods just to hang out with, their female mods, no. The amount of streamers who take advantage of their female moderators and are banging them out nonstop is insane. The stories I've heard about that are crazy.
In like mentally, not physically. I mean maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but and maybe I don't know, benefit of the doubt, or because I still thought he was cute, or I don't know. He tried to make a move on me, resolute, I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes.
Right, a people pleaser. That's definitely a red flag word. But how is he able to make a move on you? There were 2 separate beds and you didn't want to do anything, right? So why would you be sitting close enough for him to make a move when the selling point of the room was that there's enough space for you to keep your distance? As a side note, though, really one of the best ways to tell if someone's lying is to ask them specific questions about the event that would be obvious if it actually happened. Most people aren't smart enough to be able to perfectly...
That's a great point that I never thought of. If you didn't want the move to be made, why were you in the bed with him? And when he got into bed with you, why wouldn't you just get out of the room and walk and say, this guy's being weird?
Fabricate a story, so if they're lying, they'll stumble when they try to give specific details, or they'll give answers that don't make sense. But here's the reality of this situation between Sykkuno and Leia. We all know what Netflix and chill means, and 30 minutes after the door closed, she was already getting intimate with him, so she basically wasted no time.
Yep.
This is where the oral happens.
I just gave him oral, okay? This is like so personal. Like, I don't talk about my intimate life at all, but I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating.
Obviously,
that's what you did immediately.
That's a lie. Not only did you get intimate with a person who you weren't in a relationship with, but he didn't even have to buy you dinner first. That's like the definition of easy.
I barely slept that night.
I love this channel so fucking much. It's ridiculous, bro. He's too smart. He is. Bro, he snipes these lying ass bitches. It's insane. It's insane. That's why I like Think Before You Sleep, because he breaks down complicated topics in a way that everybody can understand.
Then in the morning, he didn't really want to talk about it.
Talk about what? You consented to oral. What's there to talk about? I mean, outside of you clearly trying to make consent look like rape.
And I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened. We were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something.
Well, it's the morning time, Sykkuno. Shall we discuss the riveting blowjob, the blowy I gave you last night? I would like you to go into excruciating detail of your experience of my lovely lips sucking upon your cock and balls. You don't want to talk about it. It's rape! Jesus. Like, does anybody else get how these fucking crazy-ass bitches sound?
I don't know, but I can't remember, but he ends up hugging me, but then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. And
so you want to talk about the blowjob, and then he initiates having sex. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
And we end up having sex.
We end up having sex. It just ends up happening. Yeah, I slipped and fell on bathroom soapy water, and I did a double backflip, and somehow his dick just goes into my vagina. By end up having sex, do you mean you let him have sex with you? Because I promise you, if it was rape, there would probably be resistance, you saying no, you're in a hotel where everyone can hear your voice, there are publicly available help everywhere around you, but just the spontaneousness, it just ended up what happening, and it finished before it was over. Like, bro, you literally said it took you 30 minutes to make him come from a blowjob. So clearly sex is going to last a while. What do you mean you ended up having sex?
I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop. So I just let it happen. And while this was happening, while we were doing it, I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with.
Well, clearly that's a fucking lie.
So I'm not used to one-night stands or anything like that.
It wasn't a one-night stand. You sucked his dick the night before, and now you're fucking him next morning.
But we were not using protection, and I'm
You let him go in raw, Jesus.
legally hard of hearing.
Legally hard of hearing, okay.
You guys
I guess you must be legally hard of speaking, too.
don't know already. But in the heat of the moment, he asked me if it was safe, and I didn't
So you heard him ask if it was safe?
hear him.
How would you know what he said if you didn't hear him?
But I just said, mm-hmm.
So he asked you if it was okay for you to come, and you said, mm-hmm. And if it was just a coincidental, that means you were moaning because it felt good and you were enjoying it? Oh, okay. Guys, I want to remind you, people believed this story for 8 hours until people broke this shit the fuck down. I want to remind you, people believe this shit.
And he finished.
That sounds a lot like consent.
Yep.
Not only did you not say no or give any resistance, but you openly said yes to unprotected sex when he asked.
Yep. And he also was clearly communicating what he is and what he's not allowed to do. That's why he's asking for permission. Okay? I'm sorry. Rape does not look like, hey, we had a nice blowjob last night. Maybe we have some sex. Oh, sex is good. Great. Let's begin the sex. Oh, wow, this is great. Wow, you feel amazing. May I come inside you? Oh, you said, okay, I'll come. Let's go enjoy the convention later. Rape looks like tear off your clothes, hold you down, forcibly makes you do something you don't want to do while you're crying. It's not, oh, okay, so we had really good consensual sex, but 2 years later, I heard he was a bad guy, so I changed my mind. Jesus. You know, 5 years ago, Sykkuno would be in jail over this, by the way.
Oh, but she's like sort of deaf or something, therefore it's sexual assault. I mean, if you didn't want to be intimate, you could have began with, I don't want to have sex, when he initiated that more.
You notice how she never once ever said that she didn't want to do anything that she did with Sykkuno, right? And Sykkuno asked for permission of everything. That's what's insane. And yet Sykkuno's going to be labeled a predator for the rest of his life.
Morning. Did you not say that you refused him the night before and went with oral instead?
Yep.
How are you suddenly not able to say no?
Yep.
And also, it being the case that you are a helpless people pleaser
Yep.
who can't say no to anything, even though you did before.
Yep.
But that being the case, why did you put yourself in a position where you were alone in a hotel room with a guy who you think is single and you admitted you were attracted to?
Because I still thought he was cute, or
Isn't that kind of a bad position to be in if you want to make
Now, Sean, you're not treating this woman like she's a complete helpless retard. You're being a little misogynist right now.
maintain the standard of only being intimate with guys that you're dating? So I don't believe you at all. And personally, I'm kind of tired of all these women asking to be treated like children when they're
There it is.
basically in their mid-20s like Leia,
Yep.
or even people who are in their 30s who have dated multiple people yet want to pretend that they don't know obvious information about how relationships work so they can falsely accuse someone.
Of course.
This is actually probably the worst one of these videos that I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
It's very weird that she's framing her own supposed moral guideline as an implication that he did something wrong.
Yep.
So but you weren't in a relationship with him at all. You obviously agreed to give him a blowjob.
Yep.
And then you have sex with him the next day.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, right? But in my
And that's what happens. You call these women a liar when they're lying, and then people completely cast you out from the community. Because you want to hold women accountable for their own fucking lies. Wow, I can't, oh my God. This is her traumatic story. Bitch, she made it the fuck up. Yeah, but she went through a lot of time thinking of this lie. Good God, bro, it's pathetic.
opinion,
It's fucking
something
pathetic.
like this is either rape or it's not.
Yep.
And the fact that she's framing it like, oh, I only do this. And the reason why I think she's doing that, and maybe not the reason, but I think that what's happening is that you hear that, and then the implication is that, well, then why did she do it?
Yep.
And then your mind goes to the perspective of maybe he made her do it.
Yep.
Yeah, but clearly she consented to all of it, which is why she isn't making any strong statements, because if I were Sykkuno and Leia made any statements here that could legally get her into trouble, I would be suing the shit out of her.
Oh, yeah.
Though I don't get why Leia made this video in the first place. She even says that she stayed friends with Sykkuno after the event, despite pretending that this entirely consensual interaction was traumatic. Allegedly, this all happened.
Guys, why do women have this odd habit of, and I see you not, claiming they got raped, and then they decided, oh, but I stayed friends with them for 2 years after the rape, but okay, now we're going to cut ties. I can't imagine a woman getting raped by a man and then 1 week later say, hey, Valorant. And then 2 years later say, oh, okay, well, now it's rape. I'm sorry. That's just not how that works. You know, when I was 16 and I got sexually assaulted, I wasn't like, so, do you want to play more World of Warcraft? No. I got a fucking server transfer and I never talked to that person ever again. I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe we can go back to farming that time-lost proto-Drake. Yeah, I don't get it, guys. I really just don't understand.
Happened 3 years ago when she was around 23.
You want to know why I don't understand? Because it makes no fucking sense. How do people fall for this shit?
So why the change of heart now? Well, that's because recently it was
Yo, Chad, type 1 if you want to be friends with your rapist.
revealed that Sykkuno was in a long-term relationship when he got with Leia. And not only that, but he also had a whole lineup of women that he was seeing at events and hooking up with. And to talk about that, we'll have to talk more about who Sykkuno is. Sykkuno became super famous after seemingly clout sharking a more famous streamer named Lily Pichu during COVID. Many such nepotistic cases on Twitch. Anyway, Sykkuno is primarily known for his expert gameplay at Among Us, ironically, and acting like an anime character.
I
Which
do
you've done
usually get
well.
a negative KDA.
That's not true, you liar.
What? Well, I mean, honestly, I don't really keep track.
Every time I play with you, you have a positive kill-death ratio.
That's because I sweat extra hard because I want you to think I'm cool or something, you know?
I want to kill myself by what? Bless Sykkuno's heart. But my God, his clips are suicide worthy.
No, Pokey, if it made you smile, then that's enough for me.
Wow.
Damn.
You trying to
What?
date or something?
What? No, I was just trying. What? Wait, what? You are extremely popular.
Oh, I've seen this one. This next clip hurts so bad.
What? Wait, what? You are extremely popular.
Nah, I'm still growing. I'm still growing, sir.
Huh? Oh,
still have much to
I
learn.
meant you're extremely popular with me because you're really cool.
Aw.
Ah! That is the definition of torture.
Extremely popular with me because you're really cool.
Aw.
Personally, I thought that most
This guy has busted in 90% of VTubers on this planet.
people would think a guy in his 30s talking this way is pretty cringe, but apparently tons of women eat this shit up, and Sykkuno gained one of the largest female followings as a streamer.
I just thought everyone knew that uwu shy anime boys didn't exist in the real world. I thought we were all in on this kind of persona he was putting forth. Like, guys, we know he's not a shy uwu anime boy, right? He's a 30-year-old man. This is like a persona thing. In the past, where any one of us would push back against that persona publicly, his fans would get really upset at us. Like,
Wow, his majority female fan base would get upset. No way women are irrational. There's no way.
quote unquote bullying him. I had to yell at his fans or be yelled at by his fans because I was treating him like an adult.
Yeah, I never would have
Yep.
guessed that this would be such an effective strategy. As much as feminist video essayists of the past have made a million videos saying that manic pixie dream girl relationships like Ramona Flowers and Scott Pilgrim don't actually exist, apparently that type of a relationship is exactly what tons of women want.
Of course.
Maybe a little bit, like,
Oh my, guys, trigger warning. You're gonna vomit from this clip.
Such a oh, okay, here we go. Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
All right, I'm in extreme.
Ew, cringe. But to put it simply, Sykkuno is basically the male version of Pokimane. He pretends to be an anime character, while Pokimane will LARP as a Japanese girl by doing stuff like covering her mouth while she laughs.
I am wishing you a happy new year, and I'm rooting for us.
Sykkuno is way better than Pokimane. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here. There's similarities, but I actually think Sykkuno is kind of funny, and I actually think he's kind of cool when he's not putting on this persona.
I wonder how many times she practiced or reshot that moment where she blows out the candles until it had the perfect anime level of kawaii. You can see there's a cut right before she blows out the candles. So while Pokimane will do this anime girl shit, Sykkuno does the male version of that by acting like Izuku from My Hero Academia or Ken from Dandadan. I never would have guessed that the uwu male anime character archetype was designed to actually attract women because I just see it as cringe.
I know.
Now, before we move on, let's just get the obvious out of the way.
I've actually never considered that women might actually be attracted to that. That's embarrassing if you want some weak pussy ass to be your man. That's crazy to me.
I do not like Sykkuno as a person, I don't enjoy defending someone who has routinely cheated on his long-term girlfriend
Facts.
while at the same time hiding that relationship from the women that he got involved with.
Facts.
This is not a good person. This is someone who is probably just as manipulative and deceptive as Pokimane. So it's not a shock that Sykkuno and Pokimane were friends. However, despite not liking Sykkuno, what I hate even more is how often
Yeah, but Sykkuno kind of funny sometimes.
people are trying to blur the lines between what is and what isn't sexual
Yes,
assault.
yes.
Being an asshole doesn't make you a rapist. Not liking someone as a person doesn't mean that the allegations against them are true. And I want to emphasize that because an uncomfortable amount of people will decide that someone is guilty or not based on how much they like them, instead of the actual facts of the case. That part of human nature is why we're lucky that the criminal legal standard in America is innocent until proven guilty. That being said, let's
Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. Good joke.
move on to the next accuser, the one who actually started all the drama, a she-her who goes by Hemal or Mal.
Hey, see her. Hey, classic poisoning the well. God, he's so smart, bro. Yep.
What a shock. She has an
God.
OnlyFans or a Patreon. Same
Wow.
difference. It seems like anytime there's a false allegation on social media, there's an OnlyFans chick close by.
Wonder why
Guys
that
need to
is.
learn their lesson and stay away from these women.
Yep.
Anyway, Mal
Well, name a more better dynamic duo. False accusers and having OnlyFans. It's really crazy how often that happens. Hemal Mall hitting that, like fit right into that mold, bro. Wow, what a coincidence.
I'll post a Google Doc on Twitter and captions it.
Turns out the women who are mentally deranged enough to think it's normal to sell their butthole online for $5 also may think, well, yeah, because I changed my mind 2 years later, it's different now. Oh, okay.
Exposing
Oh.
Sykkuno, a serial cheater, master manipulator, and dangerous predator.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty spicy.
True.
When you use the word predator, I'm thinking he's like a sex offender or a criminal.
Yep.
So that's a pretty serious allegation. Let's hear why she made it. She starts the document off by saying, on Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my days in high school. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision.
Here we go.
All right, so already she's framing him as a child groomer by saying, he was my role model and I've looked
Yep.
up to him since high school.
There it is.
Because of that, let's be clear by saying that everyone involved in these allegations was over the age of 18.
Yep.
I believe Mal is 20 and Leia was like 22 or 23 at the time of her allegations. I don't care if
She was only 23 teen. She was only 22 teen. She's a literal child.
Sykkuno is currently 34. They're all consenting adults, and I've been getting annoyed at how often people are being called child predators
Yep.
for doing stuff with another adult.
Facts.
So after these opening statements, Mal urges all other victims to come forward because there's strength in numbers. Oh, so they're victims now.
Yep.
Victims of what exactly?
Yep.
Page 2. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away. Okay, so pay attention. Sykkuno did not start the conversation.
Yep.
Mal started the conversation. She approached him. All he did was follow her on Twitter. I don't know, maybe he was gooning one day and wanted to save the account. I mean, there are plenty of big random accounts on Twitter who follow me, and I've never messaged them or followed them back. Following someone is not a big deal or a predatory act.
Yep.
So let's be clear. Much like Leia initiated the conversation about hotel rooms, Mal initiated this conversation too.
Yep.
Then Mal talks about them playing games together online and titles a chapter, Interest in Where I Live, to, I guess, portray Sykkuno as a crazy stalker.
Yep.
After this, she says, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokumi 2026, since he was flying over anyway to attend TwitchCon EU. Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us. She puts this text in bold to, again, I guess, make him look like a child predator, even though she's an adult. What I find weird, though, is how is she just learning his age? She said she was a fan for years, he was even a role model, and his age is public information. You never Googled it? But even if she didn't know, if she really thought the age difference was a problem, then she could have just stopped. I don't see why his age is relevant here, considering that she was aware of it and yet continued to have a conversation about moving in with him right after first talking with him. With Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast, it almost felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen, And as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. Then she talks about a cat or something. So here we have a full display.
I think it's ridiculous where you would be so stupid where you would say, well, he's a content creator on the internet, so I can trust absolutely everything he says or does. Holy fuck, these people are so stupid, or they're so smart that they want you to think that they're stupid.
I have Maul's motivations for interacting with Sykkuno.
I'm sorry, if you were above 18, you were responsible for your own actions, and I'm tired of pretending that these women just aren't.
She starts by saying, "Oh my god, a famous person followed me. I should message him." Now she's discussing visa options and a possible move-in while saying, "He can make anything I wanted happen."
Imagine that.
Okay, so Mal is definitely a sociopath. Both of them probably are, but let's be clear, the kind of relationship that Mal is describing is not one where she's like in love or enjoys Sykkuno's company or admires personality traits he has. Her description of his value is, look at all the stuff I can get from him.
One of the best months of Among Us. I feel like I shouldn't say numbers, but I will say I made more than I made in an entire year as a software developer in 1 month. Wow. Like, not a little more. It was like more than 2 or 3 times as much as my whole year's salary.
God,
You made 3 years worth of your salary.
Yeah. In a month when it feels too good to be true.
This is not a victim. This is someone who looks like she fully intended to fleece him for clout or money, and she's only writing this Google Doc because she found out that there were other girls. She's mad that he's better at the game. And now she's implying that he's like a financial abuser because he gave her some...
I wonder if he also saw the fact that there was a Discord call at the end of it where she asked to take him back. And then she got tilted when he said no. I hope to God that's in here.
Some money that she didn't ask for. I mean, you could have just sent the money back if you didn't want it.
True.
But instead, you posted what he bought you on social media.
Yep.
Seems like you were happy to take his money. So that's pretty much the end of this document. It was really a lot of nothing. Granted, it's bad that he lied about not being in a relationship, but the words victim and predator have an association with criminality in the eyes of the public.
And everybody
so
knows
if you're going
it.
to call him a predator and yourself a victim, you better have more than what's in this document. Oh, and one more thing. At the end, Mal links this Discord call of an argument that she had with Sykkuno after she found out he was in a relationship.
Bro, this was the exact part where all of her arguments fell apart. When she actually presented proof, that's when she looked the worst.
This is not settled. I'm beyond upset with you.
I mean, that's fine. By settled, I mean, like, probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
What? Why?
Is that...
I mean, guys, just listen to that. If that's not a psychotic bitch, I don't know what is. Oh, okay, so you're unhappy with what I did. Okay, we're never going to talk again. Why?
You and me?
Yes.
What? Why?
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? She's insane? Imagine that.
Is that...
You think you can leave me? No, you're mine forever. I swear to God, there's like an intro to a bad pornography.
Not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her.
Yep.
Weird how she's saying that she still wants to talk to the guy who she's calling a predator. Probably still wants his money and fame. Also, technically the correct word is a womanizer or a player. And last, speaking of, after getting public...
If I can't have you, no one can. Many such cases. Yep. Hey, boys, be careful getting out of any relationship you're into. Any relationship you are in that you are trying to leave, be ready, because these motherfuckers will defame the fuck out of you if it means them needing to have any self-reflection whatsoever. Because it's easier to falsely call a man a rapist than saying, how did I fuck up? Maybe I'll grow and change the person. Nah, it was all his fault. Fuck him. He was an asshole. That's all they do.
Backlash. Mal goes onto Twitter to say, sorry, English isn't my first language. I didn't know how people view the word predator. Nice, the Hassan Piker 9/11 defense.
But you understand now, and not just now, but you understood fairly soon after you said it, that saying Americans deserve 9/11 is a completely different statement and one that's wrong.
No, I didn't say Americans deserve 9/11. I said America deserves 9/11.
Right, but that's
and
still
in that
wrong.
Moment, well, maybe you can chalk it up to English being my second language or whatever you want.
seen him trying to feign accountability for this. That is fucking insane. Oh, I didn't know what I was saying. English is my second language, as he speaks perfectly fluent English 8 years prior to him making that statement on Twitch. Yeah. 8 years of documented streams before he made that comment. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
To chalk it up to.
Right, so you didn't know what you were saying when you know words like prolific, as well as tons of idioms and terms like love bombing.
Yep.
You understand pop culture references, and most importantly, you very obviously understand which English words to use to make people come to the conclusion that Sykkuno is a stalker and a child groomer.
I'll be real. I don't think she made that document by herself. I heavily believe that Mujin helped her make that document. So, I will say, maybe she is far dumber. I believe Mujin helped her behind the scenes.
This person is very good at English. If I didn't hear her accent in that call, I would have thought she was a native speaker, so she definitely is lying about her language ability.
True.
Now, it's already bad enough that many women feel empowered to throw out false allegations like it's nothing and basically receive zero consequences for it. But what makes everything worse is the massive industrial complex that likes to help false accusers by signal boosting their statements. Without these two forces working together, false allegations would not be so prevalent.
True.
Which brings us to a video essayist who goes by Mujin, who got 2 million views in under a week.
Let's talk about it, huh? I guess we're going to talk about it, huh? Good.
After covering this story about Sykkuno,
it's the same things with OnlyFans women. OnlyFans women would be nothing without their simps, and false accusers would also be nothing without their simps. It's always simp culture that is destroying this world. It is.
And his accusers. Now, in the past, Mujin has had a pretty strong reputation for being one of those guys who checks the sources and is good with research. But from my perspective, as someone who has only recently found his channel in the past 6 months,
I would like to remind you that Mujin says he's famous for taking both sides before weighing in. And 4 months prior to a statement he makes later, he makes an entire video while saying Mizkif is an unredeemable piece of shit and should not be trusted. And then 4 months after that video, he hears what Mizkif says with no proof whatsoever and then writes a 14-page cancellation on me. Which I'm still hearing to today, Mr. Mujin. You are a fucking retard, by the way.
When it comes to legal issues or serious allegations, Mujin should not be trusted at all. This guy has zero understanding of standards of proof or how to do any actual fact-checking.
He has an overinflated ego because he makes long documented video essays to retard VTuber fans. This guy should not be taken legitimately at all.
I also don't believe...
Oh, and the worst thing is he's French. Jesus.
...that he has the critical thinking skills or the moral discipline to discuss things like sexual assault allegations. Let's talk about why I think that.
The male streamer in question here was none other than Sykkuno. What made him really desirable is just how socially awkward he was. He was innocent in an endearing way. He was a boy failure that needed a woman to fix him. In a nutshell, he was this picture, almost allergic to other women. He just couldn't handle anything romantic. He would get too flustered. This made many of his fans want to be the one to finally fix him. But make no mistake here. This was all a perfectly crafted image that he had made for himself. He wanted you to think that he was innocent, naive, a boy failure, someone who's inexperienced in relationships and would never hurt a fly. Because in reality, behind this mirage, this illusion, there was a master manipulator, a serial cheater, and a predator.
Yeah, what?
Predator. God, bro. He used that word so specifically, too. Oh, but maybe English is Mujin's second language too. Who knows? Oh, dude, sorry, I accidentally called you a rapist. My bad, bro. Oh, okay.
Again, that is a very strong statement to make considering the evidence that we have so far. And let me emphasize that this video really is just about Maul's document, and all that happens in it is Sykkuno talks to her online, and then to a different girl named Elfie Leia. Maybe he met Elfie Leia at a convention, but as far as I can tell, Sykkuno didn't have sex with either of them. The most salacious thing that happens in that document was Maul sending him some spicy content where she's insisting that he make personal use of that material, which kind of makes her look like the aggressor in terms of sexuality. So why is Mujin using a word like predator when it's a word that's going to immediately make viewers think that Sykkuno committed a sex crime against these girls, when there's no evidence of that.
Because Mujin is one of the biggest simps on the entire internet, and everybody knows that. He wants to be seen as this Giga Chad protector of women, when in reality, he's just a lowly fucking cuck.
Someone who would make it a point for many years to target smaller content creators, take full advantage of the fact that he was one of the most desirable men in the streaming world.
The worst thing is he wasn't always like that, but he started sipping the Kool-Aid too much. And then he became obsessed with his own self-image, there are many such cases.
Making it seem like he had no experience with women and that it just might be romantic. They just might be that special someone who can fix him. What he would
Oh yeah, predator, I meant that he just hunts animals. He's a hunter and gatherer. He uses a bow. I didn't mean to call him a rapist. Sorry guys, my bad. I thought we all knew I was talking about Predator, the fucking alien. My bad.
somehow forget to tell them, though, is that he had been in a monogamous relationship since 2021. But you don't have to take my word for it, because he admits to everything in a recorded voice call with the victim herself.
What's Mal a victim of? A few DMs, a new sweater, and a copy of Resident Evil 9? What did he do? She talked to him
Great game, by the way.
first. Maybe the worst of it was the illicit material she sent, but really is it that big of a deal when you can see the same content from her for like $12? All Sykkuno did was click follow on some chick he was gooning to, and she initiated everything else. I mean, if you're going to talk about how he wanted to take advantage of smaller creators, what about Mal's admission that her only interest in Sykkuno was to use him for clout or money? Or the fact that she, virtue signals and pretends that she doesn't want money, when one of her Patreon tiers is, spoil me with $600 and I'll give you nothing. Like I said, Mujin is ass at critical thinking. Does he have no relationship experience? How is it not obvious that Mal's framing of this relationship in her document is incredibly transactional? Well, really, both of them are trying to take advantage of each other. But how do you not notice this? How do you not notice that Mal opens up with a very overtly sexual comment and then tries to push for a date a second time when he gives a non-answer?
Yep.
This is someone who wants something. She's just mad that she got outgamed.
True.
Also, just as an FYI, since we're talking about character here, did you guys know that Hemal, of all people, made some very interesting tweets about Charlie Kirk right after he was murdered, where she expresses joy that he was killed for saying his political beliefs?
Many such cases, man.
What a wonderful person she is.
Yep.
Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also
What a
learned
great
that there's a
gal.
15-year age gap between us. Right, so look, I personally spoke to the victim about this. I asked, would that usually have been a red flag or a turnoff? She said yes. But the thing is, this is Sykkuno we're talking about here, right? So she made an exception, because as you saw in the intro of this document,
I also learned that there's a 15-year age gap between us. Brother, Google Sykkuno age. This is a public figure. This is something that he can't keep secret. His birth date is public.
she used to watch him in high school. She genuinely looked up to him. To say that she was starstruck was an understatement, and that's exactly what he was counting on. Now, while keeping that 15
That's what he was counting on, brother. She reached out to him.
year age gap in mind, this next section definitely hits different. It's titled, Making Plans to Move In Together.
Again, trying to frame Sykkuno as a child groomer, so he leans into the age gap without asking, how in the hell did Mal not know his age when she was a fan for multiple years?
True.
Who the hell cares about the age gap anyway? They were both consenting adults.
True.
Stop acting like she's a child. Again, I think the only reason that they're bringing this up is to make him look like he committed a crime when he didn't. And the constant lack of perspective in this video is annoying.
He simply wasn't seen like the run-of-the-mill Twitch streamer. No, there was definitely more to this. And one of the main reasons why this worked out so well is because he was seen as a boy failure. No, not the kind of guy who's unemployed and lives in a dump and smells like shit. I'm talking about the ideal boy failure. The guy who's handsome, smells nice, doesn't live in a dump, but is instead just a hopeless romantic. Someone who turns all red when you want to initiate physical contact. The most innocent, naive soul imaginable. The appeal of a boy failure isn't necessarily that he's a failure. It's the fact that he's perfect, but just needs one person to fix him. And that's how a significant chunk of his fan base felt.
If you're going to call a guy a predator and all the affected parties victims because he acted like an anime character, then at least half the girls on Twitch are pretending to be anime girls because men wouldn't engage with them otherwise.
True.
And that's not even counting the VTubers.
Oh, taking a shot at Bao. Oh, I love it. There's so many fake ass motherfuckers on Twitch. It's fucking crazy.
Pokimane is probably the best example of someone who super performatively acts like an anime girl.
Yep.
Also, how many girls intentionally pitch up their voices so more guys will watch them?
Lily Pichu.
Well, the guys who donate anyway.
So Sawyer, I'm visiting from America and I've never had nanos before and I've heard some great things, like to get the medium.
This girl, Extra Emily, is almost 30, by the way.
Pushing 30, by the way. I need to piss. Give me 15 seconds. We're going to continue this video. God damn, this is peak. Let's keep it going.
These people are not stupid. They're very successful at playing characters, and they know which archetypes cause people to give them money. Speaking of Sykkuno and Pokimane, there's also this underlying ideology, well, actually it's pretty overt, where Mujin is like, how dare this guy pretend to be single and manipulate viewers? Bro, listen, cheating on your girlfriend is bad, but if you're going to call a guy a predator for pretending to be single and manipulating people, then I can show you like dozens of female Twitch streamers who are doing the exact same thing. You
Facts!
don't think they have simps trying to DM them and chat them up on Discord just like with Sykkuno? So anyway, there's not much else to Mujin's video that I didn't already cover. He spends most of it reading what Maul said and then throws in these 17 minutes.
I actually don't know any female streamers that are single. And every single one of them publicly says, oh, guys, I don't have a boyfriend. That's why you should spend your time with me. Let's be real, guys. Yeah, the millionaire, semi-average, attractive-looking female where all they do is play video games. Yeah, they just weren't able to find a boyfriend. All of them, for some reason. All of them just aren't able to find it. Yeah, they're all single. Yeah, of course.
And a mostly boring Discord call with Sykkuno, probably just to boost the watch time for more ad revenue. And last but not least, he does a little edit where he turns Sykkuno into Thomas the Tank Engine and reinforces that Sykkuno is a predator, which...
He made an image called Thomas the Predator Engine? I've never seen this. I would sue a motherfucker over this. This is straight up slanderous defamation. I cannot believe he made this. That is insane, bro. And he even used the font used in Genshin Impact. Bro, this Mujin guy sucks ass.
Looks a lot like defamation. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if this legally counts, but after seeing how much Mujin tried to make Sykkuno look like a sex offender with no proof, I would be making some phone calls to my legal team because the aftermath of this video was that it seems like a pretty large portion of his streamer friend group threw him under the bus for something that he didn't really do, which kills his ability to make money from collabs.
Of course, before streaming today, I expected a lot of people in the chat asking me to talk about the Sykkuno situation. I was really stressing about it, and then I realized, like, I'm stressing about it so much, and Sykkuno hasn't even said anything yet. I think what I really want to say is I am just so sorry for all the hurt that's been caused.
Dude, where's all Pokimane saying stupid shit? Like, where are the clips? Bro, I haven't heard this dumb bitch open her mouth in so long. It's like, bro, I need content. My Pokimane Pokimane and Valkyrie are who I enjoy farming the most because they're just so fucking stupid. It's insane. I hate having to farm Hassan. It sucks. Because Hassan knows he's retarded. At least Valkyrie and Pokimane don't get that yet.
To the victims, to our communities, I feel everyone's hurt and shock and confusion. And
I will use this thread to rewrite our history for a better future. Okay, Hassan.
I'm right there with ya.
We're all in this together, guys. Yeah, one big happy family. Now, please give me $5 so I'll throw ass and write your name on the chalkboard behind me.
I really try so hard to make my channel a safe space for everybody.
Wow, so noble.
And I really hope the people that don't need to speak up will.
That was an Oscar-level performance from Pokimane. Interesting choice, though, for her to use the word victim. In fact, I'm not the only person who pointed that out. An expert English language scholar who goes by XQC questions her use of the word victim, to which she responds by playing dumb, pulling out Webster's dictionary and saying, well, actually, Iman, no one cares about what the dictionary definition of the word is.
True.
The colloquial or common use definition, or how people feel about the word, is what actually matters here.
Yep.
And we know what you were trying to do.
Yep.
Going back to Mujin, needless to say, I'm not the only one who had a problem with his framing of the story. In fact, a ton of people did. Especially his clear use of the word predator to imply that Sykkuno committed sex crimes.
Yep.
As I said before, womanizer or player or fuckboy is the correct term here. Predator is not appropriate here because it implies that there was criminal activity or that the people in question weren't willing participants. Mujin responds to the criticism by also pulling out Webster's dictionary and saying, well, technically the definition is, you've got to be kidding me, I'm tired of everyone playing dumb. Literally, this whole drama is just people pretending to not know things because they got caught doing something immoral. Mujin, come on. I know you know how people perceive that word. There were many creative choices that you made in this video that shows you understand what you were doing when you said predator. Just like it's clear that Mal understands what it means. And to reiterate, I don't like Sykkuno. I think he's an asshole who cheated on his girlfriend. But the conversation is not about that. It's about people enabling false allegations, to which Mujin, by the way, has done on more than one occasion.
Really?
And this stuff is a problem, not only because it harms a lot of innocent people who usually have no options for recourse against the ones who falsely accused them, but
I know he fucked me over and he fucked Sykkuno over, but who else did he fuck over?
also it hurts actual victims because people won't believe them. God forbid an OnlyFans girl actually gets assaulted. No one's going to think they're being honest.
Very
so
true.
many people criticize Mujin for the video. One of them
Oh my god, I forgot that Mujin did this to Powder. Bro, where is Powder's apology, bro?
being a VTuber who goes by Powder. In this tweet, she is directly responding to Mujin's video as someone who has interacted with Sykkuno, stating that he was obviously a player, but she never felt manipulated by him. Powder goes on to say that Mujin was never really a reliable narrator, and personally I agree based on the content of his that I've seen. Now, because Mujin, of course, always wants to make sure that he hears all sides of the story and not just the parts that fit his bias, he then quote tweets Powder, basically giving her the middle finger by saying, haha, you have no viewers. Which, for one, is a really ironic thing to say when his video was supposed to be about him standing up for small influencers. And two, I could have sworn that I've seen Mujin make this exact argument where he says that anyone who disagrees with his obviously wrong take is a clout chaser.
I'm actually curious. Some guy in chat said Mujin's recent videos are going to nosedive. Thanos snapped his views. All right, so Mujin, since this drama, has made 2 videos, of which got 400,000 and 368,000. And every one of his other videos before then has never seen underneath 1 million, besides a video coming out 7 months ago that he himself considered a failure in the term of Power World. So now he's had 2 back-to-back underperforming videos, each one getting worse. Is his channel actually on the decline? Well, that is a little rough. He's down to 3.3 million views. Is he losing subs at all? No, he's still gaining little by little. He gets about, 1/6 to 1/7 of the views that I have right now. Let's take a Social Blade. That is a astronomical fall off. Mujin is currently at about half to 1/3 the views that he normally gets on release weeks. Wow. So he's making around, let me double check something real quick. Let me see if he has any other forms of revenue whatsoever. And I love this because I've never been called out for being wrong about this right now, because I'm very good with people's numbers. So Mujin does not stream besides once every couple months or so, which means that YouTube is his only form of revenue. Let me double check this real quick. His monthly average viewership is 3 million. Giving him the benefit of the doubt that all these are long form views. He also lives in Paris. That means that Mujin's current revenue should be somewhere. Let me double check. Does he do shorts? He does not do shorts at all. So all of these are long form media views, meaning that his revenue monthly, if he is having 3.3 million views, should be around 1/6 to 1/7 of mine. That means Mujin is making somewhere in the ballpark of $5,000 to $7,000 every month. Then there's 34% tax because he's self-employed. That means Mujin after tax is making somewhere around $3.3 to $3.6 thousand a month, putting him right around a minimum wage worker in some states of the United States. That's rough. Mujin is out here destroying people's lives for less than a minimum wage employee in New York in the United States. If that's not a humiliation ritual, I don't know what is. And if that doesn't showcase to you why he's so desperate to have good content, hopefully that makes more sense now. Embarrassing.
We get it. You're really cool because lots of people watch your videos. It doesn't mean you're right, though. Mujin then threatens to blackmail Powder and expose that she dated a black guy. Who cares?
I've never dated a black guy. I never slept with a black guy, by the way.
And finally, he yet again lies and pretends that he doesn't know what the colloquial definition of the word predator is. With that said, this whole time Sykkuno has not...
By the way, let's say Powder did fuck a black guy. And we all make mistakes. I don't hold it against her. No, but on the real, who cares? What, is that going to obliterate her career because she slept with a black dude? Why are we holding this above her head? Hello?
Not said that much until he dropped this letter. And the English voice actor for Izuku Midoriya, Justin Briner, was kind enough to read it out loud for us, so I don't have to.
I would like to apologize to everyone I have disappointed. Most of all, to my girlfriend. I am so sorry.
Stop.
I put you through so much.
Please tell me
I
we're
never
not reading
want to
all
make
this.
these mistakes again and hurt you and the people I care about.
Stop.
I was unfaithful.
Stop.
And I own and fully admit that. I lied to people and told them I was single, which I know is not right. I'm sorry to all of the people that I hurt by doing this. However, I have seen some false accusations about me that are not true. I cannot allow false accusations and such extreme labels to be placed on me. I do understand that the people making these claims did it from a place of hurt. So please, do not send any more hate to anyone. I just want the situation to get better, and I wish...
It was really funny, but I'm tired of getting copyright claimed, so you can find that version by searching for this tweet here. Though, personally, I don't really care about Sykkuno's apology because I don't have any proof that he's actually sorry, so for now, it's just empty words. But the more interesting part of this is the message from Sykkuno's girlfriend, who was the actual victim, by the way, where she chastises all of the clout chasers who were trying to use these allegations to boost their careers.
Based.
What a shock. It's like what I said earlier. These sociopaths doing this for personal gain hurts the actual victims. Imagine finding out that you were being cheated on.
Bro, Sykkuno better lock the fuck in and realize what a gem of a girlfriend he has to stay by his side through all this shit. What a fucking gem.
And then it becomes a massive public drama because some guy wanted a few $1,000s on a YouTube video. Keep in mind that since nobody knew about Sykkuno's girlfriend, she is not voluntarily in the public eye, so this is kind of a shit thing to do while pretending that it's on her behalf.
All I care about right now is that it's okay. Keep me updated on that.
I don't know if that's a possibility.
You can keep me updated on how she's doing. You can keep me updated on when she moves out, because I don't think she should be living with you anymore.
I don't think you need me to do that.
I mean, yeah, I care about her. Like,
Yeah, she can do that.
True. I'll just reach out to her then.
Keep in mind that directly before Hemal talks about how much she cares about Sykkuno's girlfriend, she says that she still wants to date him despite the cheating. Yeah, she should break up with you for cheating on her, but I'll give you a second chance. Make sure you let me know when you guys have broken up so I can slide back into your DMs. I mean, how is this not just standard gold digger behavior, especially after that moment where she talks about how much she can get from Sykkuno?
It is crazy how much people get turned on by Mal's personality type. The crazy, obsessed stalker type. Right? Hey guys, and don't get me wrong. I used to get turned on by that shit too. But guys, please. The crazy, obsessed type, they're gonna ruin your fucking life if they do anything wrong. Avoid that shit at all costs. Go for the mutual respect type, for the love of God.
In the Google Doc. She obviously is trying to get them to break up so she can
Yes.
have exclusive access to his money and clout, particularly considering the millions of dollars she can make on her OnlyFans / Patreon by being attached to someone as famous as Sykkuno. How do you not see this, Mujin? Mal is just as guilty as he is. That's why Mal never contacted his girlfriend or asked how she felt about all this being exposed publicly before making the document. She's mad that she just lost Amaranth levels of wealth.
Facts.
Again, Mujin either knows nothing about women or has zero critical thinking skills if he didn't notice this. Sykkuno's girlfriend then goes on to say that she's trying to work things out with him, which I don't think she should, but whatever, it's their relationship. However, the great news
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You know, if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. I ain't gonna judge. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck.
is that after all of this, people started massively shitting on Mujin, the one who enabled all the nonsense in the first place, by signal boosting allegations that falsely suggested that Sykkuno was a sex criminal.
Fucking insane.
In response, Mujin deleted the expose on Sykkuno and then made an apology video where he sounds like he's taking accountability and he sounds like he's going to do better.
But he's not.
But if you know anything about his behavior, then you can tell that he is definitely not sorry for what he did.
I'm making this in regard to my last video about Sykkuno. I want to clarify how this video came to be, while also taking accountability and apologizing for the mistakes that I made. So, how did this all begin? Well, for me, it was on April 7th when I was reached out to by Mal for the first time. I was told that a Google Doc was releasing soon about a big content creator. And this is when I was asked if I wanted access to it early to maybe make a video about it. The document was going to publicly release on the 10th anyway. This means that this wasn't some grand conspiracy, okay? This document was going to release with or...
Oh, and keep in mind, he also deleted his apology video because God forbid he looks wrong for the mistakes he made. What a class act.
without me.
Wait,
What's
so
a
his story is
class
that
act?
he first heard about all this on April 7th and he posted the video on April 10th? He also insists that this was the first time he had ever talked to Mal, the one who wrote the Google Doc. There's some controversy on that, but I'll take his word for it. By the way, he doesn't forget to remind everyone that he gets millions of views on his videos. God, this guy is arrogant. Anyway, he released the original video on...
I mean, that should get community noted and say he used to get millions of views on his video. Now we're struggling to break 500K. That's a little rough, especially when you're letting your videos sit there for months at a time. You know, I know a guy who posts 5 videos a day that breaks consistently 100K like every 2 days, which to be honest is kind of insane. That means every day his videos are getting more views than your one video that you post 1 month that has every single one of your audience to go to. I don't know. I mean, that guy's pretty fucking good. And his name is Asmongold, of course.
Sykkuno on April
Of course.
10th, after first hearing about everything on April 7th. So you mean to tell me that you did a 1-hour scripted video on this in less than 3 days? Well, minus about 17 minutes. But how did you do that? And 3 days is generous. Really, it's more like 2. I say this because this is not a slop tuber reporting the daily news.
Yep.
His whole reputation is that he's the guy who does his due diligence and fact checks everything. 2 or 3 days is not enough for a topic like this. Fact checking is one of the most time consuming parts of this job. Here he is quoting Breaking Bad and bragging about how fast he is. But the reality is that the only way you could get this kind of video out this quickly is if you literally just took everyone's word for it and did no independent research of your own. You're really not fact-checking that much if you can release a video on a complicated subject like this that fast. In fact, I remember the last guy I covered who bragged
Oh my God. Isn't this Noah Samson?
about how fast he could get videos done, and when I actually fact-checked him, it turns out he got pretty much everything wrong. I hear he's being sued by Ethan Klein right now for defamation.
If you've watched my channel
Ethan! Get their ass, bro! Get their ass! Fuck them! Fuck all of them!
before, then you'd know that I'm someone who highly values both sides of the story. It's actually something that I always implore you to do before forming your own opinions. And while I do receive so many DMs about scoops or exclusive info about certain topics, I mostly never take them, always choosing to wait for things to unfold in public first before making my videos.
Oh, come on.
Of course.
Mujin, look at me. You did not just say that shit unironically. You posted your video instantly after the allegations came out, which gives Sykkuno no time to respond. How is this waiting for the full story? We never heard his side, especially considering that you made some incredibly strong claims about him. I mean, Mujin's definition of listening to both sides sounds a lot more like a...
I'm sorry, bro. How is this meme not suable? Like, this is just insane levels of defamation. Because he knows these memes are going to spread like wildfire. Like, I hope Sykkuno sues the fuck out of this straight up.
Coordinated attack against Sykkuno between Mujin, Leia, Bao the Whale, Hemal, and Elfie Leia.
What made the situation special, though, was the 17-minute video recording of the voice call between Mal and Sykkuno. My logic here was simple. It was me thinking that we already had the other side of the story, and it was Sykkuno admitting to his wrongdoings in the most raw and unfiltered way possible.
Holy shit, this guy's an idiot.
Yep.
Powder was right. He's not a reliable source. No one should trust him if he thought only receiving information from one side was fact-checking both sides. Again, he obviously just believes whatever people tell him, and he's too incompetent to know how to scrutinize information. He's getting these...
Sorry, I mean, Mujin has a lot of similarities with Moist Critical. Whatever Mujin says online is essentially just regurgitating whatever public opinion is and just refeeding into people's confirmation bias to make you seem like you're based. And that's all it is. Mujin, once again, is truly just not that smart.
Large view...
And obviously, this was very coordinated.
...counts, not because his information is highly accurate, but because he knows storytelling skills. So, forewarning, just because someone is good at video editing and selling a narrative and sounding smart doesn't mean they're actually correct.
Oh, bro, trust me. I fully understand that 99% of YouTube content creators are just, they get seen as reputable because they talk smart. And so, like, for example, like, I understand people go, oh, dude, Tectone's so smart. People are like, all right. So this guy has a 27 male girlfriend. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean 27 male girlfriend of 4 years? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, he's 27 male. Never mind. For a second there, I thought this was a transgender post. Never mind. Yeah, he means he's 27 and his girlfriend's 26. Never mind. Confused me too. I know. My 27 male girlfriend. I was like, God damn, bro. The woke left have gone, man, they gone deep. They gone deep.
Mistake can be found in the intro of the video, and it's me using the word predator. Yes, it was my idea, and the logic behind it
there it is.
Was me trying to encompass everything, like the serial cheating, lying, and deliberate targeting of smaller content creators into one word. Before using it, I even made sure to double check its definition in multiple dictionaries.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Of course, let me just double check. Yeah, of course. Let me double check, guys. Shut the fuck up, you lying bitch. You know what you were trying to do.
Dictionaries, which said things like a person or an organization that uses weaker people for their own advantage, or one who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. Due to this, I had to come to the conclusion that, yeah, this word fits.
Yeah, I want you to say, look under predator, see also sexual predator. Man, I can't, I never thought these words would be used synonymously. I'm shocked. Okay.
Personal gain or profit. Due to this, I had to come to the conclusion that, yeah, this word fits. I'd find out quickly afterwards, though, that for many people, that word is only reserved to describe...
Did Mujin just face reveal? Sorry.
Pedophiles or sexual predators, which made a substantial amount of people feel misled after watching the intro of my video.
Oh.
It made it seem like a hit piece, exaggerating things, and it also made it seem like...
It made it seem like it was a hit piece. Yeah, bro, it only seemed. Oh, okay.
Sykkuno had committed very serious crimes, enough to land him in a high-security prison or something, when that clearly wasn't the case. That
once again reminds you, by Mujin's own definition, he too is a predator.
Was not my intention at all, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I don't believe that you're sorry. We're only 4 minutes into a 12-minute video, and you've already been...
Breaking news, : Sykkuno just exposed Mujin as a predator. That's the new title of this video. By Mujin's own definition, he should be okay with that.
Incredibly deceptive. Here's an idea. You sold a false narrative that cost Sykkuno numerous business opportunities because he lost a part of his streamer friend group. Words mean nothing to me. You financially benefited here and got 2 million views.
Let's see if we can find any proof of damages from Sykkuno or from Mujin to Sykkuno. To be honest, just from this right here, Sykkuno, who went live every single day, has now not been live a single time since you, Mujin, falsely framed him for a crime that he did not commit. And I hope to God he sues the brakes off your ass.
That's like what, $10,000 to $20,000?
Now look, with all that being said, apologies are great, but there's no use presenting them if there's no attempt to act on them. And that's exactly what I intend to do.
Okay, why don't you show that you're actually sorry by giving that money away to charity or something?
True.
If you honestly believe that what you did was immoral, then you shouldn't get to make $10,000+ off falsely accusing someone.
True.
So donate the money and then I'll believe you.
True.
After all, you didn't do this for views, right?
I thought that since my channel had grown exponentially, don't ask me how or why because I have no idea, I could maybe use my platform.
It's because you farm mentally ill VTuber fans who are too stupid to know what their own opinion is. Hope that helps.
For a good cause, spreading awareness about Sykkuno's behavior so that no one else gets tricked into being a homewrecker against their will, while in parallel, encouraging others who have been wronged by him to finally speak up. Additionally, seeing that the person speaking up was doing so from a small account, I figured I could help amplify that message to spread maximum awareness. Now yes, some people could definitely argue that I was desperate for a topic to bring in views, but to me it didn't matter because I was already lucky enough to be able to cover niche topics I enjoy and still somehow reach over 1 million views on them.
God, this guy takes every chance he can get to brag about his view count and talk about how moral he is.
I know.
Okay, so how about you do the...
Don't worry, he's going to have to change that millions of views to hundreds of thousands of people now. Too soon, just thousands of people.
right thing and give away the profits from a video where you fucked up majorly and basically implied that someone was a child groomer. You don't need the money, right? Because you said that you already have numerous videos that are hits.
He'd also call out anyone trying to frame him with false accusations. So yeah, as you can see, not much has changed. He's already admitted to these things in the voice call with Mal. When it comes to false accusations though, yes, there are stories that have circulated for years among some VTubers that accuse Sykkuno of doing worse than cheating. At this point though, it is not up to me to say whether it's true or not, just pointing out what he might be referring to.
He's still doing it. He's still doing the thing that people were mad about. Now guys, I'm not saying
insinuating that he committed crimes.
These are true, but I just want you to know that I've heard rumors that Sykkuno is actually a sex criminal.
The truth is Sykkuno's serial cheating and manipulation was only the tip of the iceberg. And I was hoping the video would encourage the many others who have stayed quiet for years to finally find the courage to talk about their experiences. This is the most obvious, implying that Sykkuno is a pedophile child rapist. If you're saying cheating and serial manipulation is only the tip of the iceberg, meaning that the other shit is way worse, what else could that be besides rape, pedophilia, or murder? Which one is it? You can't say that's only the tip of the iceberg. That means there is incredible worse shit. Oh, but of course, no one's going to call him out for that. I'm glad he locked replies or he would have been even more obliterated than what he was. Maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe he was playing Genshin Impact.
Criminal for real. So not only is this sort of an admission that he did mean what everyone thought he meant when he used the word predator, but also he's signal boosting the idea that he has secret information that we aren't privy to that may confirm Sykkuno did commit a sexual assault. Why would Mujin bring this up if he didn't want us to think that Sykkuno is a criminal? Because it's clear to me as someone who doesn't have secret intel that when Sykkuno says false accusers and extreme labels, he's obviously talking about you, Mujin, and Leia, and Mal, and like 2 other people. Nobody requested further elaboration from anonymous sources. If you were actually sorry, you wouldn't be trying to shift attention away from yourself by saying, well, these other people said this, so maybe he is a predator. I can't confirm it, though, but I just want to throw that out there.
The Sykkuno video was live for a week, so I'll keep this video live for a week as well.
Oh, so he's just going to delete the video. Good thing I saved it. You see what I mean when I say that he...
Damn, bro, he predicted your ass, man. Shit. Hey, that's a lot of words. Too bad I ain't reading them. Man, bro, he got your ass.
He's not actually sorry for enabling false accusers. Ironically, he cites a PewDiePie video where Felix apologizes for saying the N-word on accident.
Oh my God, PewDiePie said the N-word. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If anything, this clip made me like him more. This shit was hilarious. Because it made him more relatable. Because everybody says this shit during video games. And everybody knows it.
Accident during a live stream 8 years ago. That's a big who cares moment. But you know what the great thing about that apology video from Felix is? It's still live. Now, I get why Mujin removed the original Sykkuno video. But to remove the apology video after 1 week makes it very much look like he doesn't want people knowing that he screwed up. On top of that, he doesn't apologize to Sykkuno for misrepresenting him. He instead apologizes to the audience. And he doesn't apologize to Powder either. though I don't think she's that broken up about it.
Mujin, thank you so much for being a fucking retard. You
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She obliterated them there. She fucking obliterated them there.
made my night.
So
Thank you so
apologize to Powder either, though I don't think she's that broken up about it.
Mujin, thank you so much for being a fucking retard. You made my night.
So Mujin's behavior...
I am actually curious. I believe Powder's analytics have increased dramatically. Yeah, Mujin! Yeah!
Here is very suspicious. That is yet another reason why I don't trust him, because here's the reality. An uncomfortable amount of content creators like Mujin will misrepresent the facts of a case because they know the audience won't independently look this stuff up themselves.
Yep.
I know a lot of viewers are unhappy about this reality of nature, and that's why I always try to be very clear in my videos on where I get my information. I do that so people can fact check me independent of my video and come to their own conclusions. A courtesy that, unfortunately, most creators don't seem to offer. Actually, thanks to AI, these days it's much easier to find the source material when people don't cite it. But really, the only way to reduce the number of influencers like Mujin who try to get their viewers to believe a false narrative is to every so often spend the time fact-checking the sources yourself. Not every video, but if you want to do your part and make the world a better place, every so often take one for the team and do a little research on some of the claims that creators are making, so that if you do find someone who is being dishonest, you can call them out.
Facts.
Even if it's just a very small percentage of viewers fact-checking each video, it'll make a big deal.
Absolute
especially
facts.
if over 2 million people...
That's why I always, for videos that are claiming egregious things, if the source isn't presented of where they got that information from, I will check it myself. And it does help a lot. And chat, you should also do this as well.
Watched it. And the direct benefit to you as a person who is doing your part is that it teaches you how to research and research quickly, which is a crucial skill for a ton of things. More importantly, it teaches you critical thinking. People ask me every so often how to develop critical thinking skills. Well, this is one of the ways that you do it. You research, you think about what you found, and then you try to articulate it to other people. And by articulate it, I mean you shitpost on Twitter or the YouTube comment section. If you're going to engage in unemployed behavior, then you might as well use it to train your brain.
True.
Many modern philosophers have been developed in the comment section because writing is one of the strongest ways to get good at critical thinking. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude, I swear to God, this is the best YouTube channel on the entire planet. He's so good at what he does. And it's nice because he doesn't bullshit. And think before you sleep actually get so much shit for not just mimicking public opinion, but actually telling you the reality of situations, which is why I have an unlimited amount of respect for that guy. What a banger video. What a banger video as always. Like, comment, subscribe.